Hello, my beautiful people. Your boy Dixon here, ready to react to illegals clear out Chicago stores. Mayor panics as Trump deploys ICE ARMADA. Let's get to it.
Crime in Chicago is now so bad the entire state of Illinois is collapsing. Oh,
Man, they stealing. Man, they man.
it's a grocery store. Oh, they're slipping. They're barefoot. These thieves
What
are
the hell is
barefoot.
happening
And
here?
things aren't much better at Sam's Club. Look at the hot dog line.
What the hell is happening?
Yeah, you're getting the whole kitchen thrown at you back here. And look at this. There's even fights breaking out inside the courthouse where criminals
hell is happening
go to
here?
get their sentence. Look at this. They're committing more crimes at court.
And he's not playing with that ass either.
People just
Where's the
fighting in
police?
house. There's no
No
police.
police
There's no
anywhere.
security officers.
Not in the whole city, the whole state.
Yeah, finally.
Oh, here we go. Finally
What
a
is this doing?
consequence.
They're putting this place to be like so horrible everywhere.
The courthouse busting kind of early, y'all.
Yeah, look, everyone's on the ground. This is crazy. But watch what happens when actual law enforcement does something about the crime here. Look, this is crazy.
You ain't even supposed to be touching that man like that, violating his rights. Violating his rights.
Well, if he won't
Yeah, you
obey,
need to
they
go
have
in,
no
man.
choice.
Excessive.
You can't just start violence from nowhere.
It's not, it's excessive resistance. They're trying to make an arrest. These illegals are fighting back.
No, keep your shirt on.
These guys are fighting till the end, man.
Hey,
They don't want to go back to wherever they're supposed to go.
Don't
Look, they're trying to strap him in for his own
Where
safety,
is
and he
this
won't
guy
even let the
coming from?
officer do that.
diga su nombre, primo. ¿Cómo se llama? ¿Dónde viene?
And meanwhile, these activist Chicago people are sticking their face in the car. They should be arrested too.
I got his name. I got his name.
man.
Man, y'all bogus. Y'all bogus, bro.
Meanwhile, neighborhoods are bearing the brunt of this unrelenting crime wave that's just not stopping.
This is crazy, yo.
Yes, it is.
Do you see the?
What the hell?
They just pulled up.
What
And
the hell
broke
have I
into-
just seen?
Yeah, they're just raiding cars.
Yep.
Raiding them. No one cares.
The amount
And
of
that car sat right there and watched it.
Yeah, why would you stop the criminals if the police won't stop them? But predictably, you know who can't stomach any more lawlessness? The law-abiding.
An NBC5 News exclusive. We first brought you this story of a small family-owned business battling break-ins in Chicago's Fulton Market neighborhood in February of 2024.
Oh, it's been going on for a while.
Despite community support and even a plea for the burglars to stop, the break-ins continued, ultimately forcing the owners to make the tough decision to close.
Despite owner Kevin Wood's message to burglars, letting them know their actions hurt local families.
It impacts a lot of people, and it's hard for us to operate when things are stolen.
They don't care.
A year and a half later, the shop is in a new spot in Bucktown, but the burglars would follow it there too.
The crime
Several hundred
follows.
products, damage, furniture, collectible items, so it's pretty tough.
This is
Surveillance
awful.
video shows the burglars just after 4:30 a.m. using a sledgehammer to break down double-pane glass and take rackfuls of products for several minutes.
We put in
They stole the whole store.
security shutters, 2 metal grates. We spent over $15,000 in security.
That doesn't matter. There's no
Hard
cops.
to calculate, but in the tens of thousands of dollars. Wood said it's part of the difficult reality of having
Look at 'em,
curated
going right through the
high-value
wall.
merchandise as a small business in Chicago.
We call it
This
the
is
Chicago
awful.
City Tax. You know,
What does that mean?
that means if you have good stuff, it's going to get taken or stolen.
That's awful.
According to Chicago police data, there have been more than 4,000 burglaries so far in 2025. But this time for the pop-up, it caused an end of an era for Woods and his staff.
4,000
The store will
burglaries in 2025. Thanks to the mayor of Chicago, we might hit 10K by the end of the year.
permanently close by October.
Baseball, 3 strikes, you're out, I guess.
So they're shutting down. The law-abiding can't
I try to keep
can't do this.
I'm trying to be optimistic, but it's like, look, it's not working.
Yeah.
You know, having a brick and mortar.
Because no
For
one's in
Woods, the
jail.
hardest part of the decision is for his young employees who found inspiration working there.
And that's what nobody who's in favor of shoplifting or decriminalization ever wants to talk about. You got people doing the right thing who lose their jobs, and now they got nothing. But there's another type of business out there that's also doomed. Look at this.
2008.
now in the Belmont-Cragen neighborhood.
We had this idea of
a taco
having
shop.
our own storefront.
They're closing for a different reason.
One of the busiest times of day here at Taqueria La Paz. Normally, these tables would be full, but today they're empty. Something the co-owner tells us is new over the last few weeks.
What
As
happened?
Operation Midway Blitz began and customers begin to see federal agents in their communities.
Oh, ICE is around.
Not really going to sit-down places.
The restaurant's business model has switched over to mostly mobile orders during their peak hours.
At the end of the month, it barely makes it.
One of their customers told crews some of their loved ones were detained by ICE and described how she felt, thinking.
So here you have a business where their entire customer base, from what it sounds like, are afraid of getting deported. They've either already been deported and they can't come eat at this place, or they're so scared they're placing all of their orders online. Makes you wonder, who does this business actually benefit? You've got the owners who are making money because of an open border. Look at that. All this does is reduce opportunities for people who want to run a business that doesn't benefit from an open border.
Her house.
She was trying to get enough money because now delivery is going to charge her more, but she was afraid to come out. She's been a customer for a long time, so I said, you don't worry, I'll take your food. Mexican pop here.
Why are we supposed to be sad that illegal immigrants have to order delivery now?
By feeding his community.
I was raised in this industry. I love how my mom and my grandma and my mom cook.
We've also heard of the same trend happening in communities like Little Village and in Pilsen. The long-term effects of this are...
The long-term effects of this are going to be a rebalancing of the local economy here. You've got businesses that are making way more money than they should because federal fugitives have come to this sanctuary city, made it very unsafe, and have set up shop and are using all the money they've got somehow to order delivery. Meanwhile, activists in Chicago are very upset about what ICE is
Some of them telling us they noticed the fencing went up around the facility in the middle of the night.
It's disturbing. It's disturbing. It's another attempt at infringing people's right to express themselves publicly.
Today, fencing surrounds the Broadview Processing Center. A little further down the street, barriers were placed to block traffic. Broadview police officers also remain in the area. This comes days after clashes between protesters and federal agents.
So, you've got so much rioting at the local ICE facility that ICE decided to put up a fence, a border wall if you want to call it that, and protesters are furious because now they can't get close enough because of border security to attack federal agents. Absolutely ridiculous.
Smoke and pepper pellets to disperse crowds.
Well, now they don't have
as
to.
Protesters block the entrance of the driveway.
Because they can't block the driveway.
The Department of Homeland Security says 16 protesters were arrested outside the Broadview Processing
That's not
Center,
enough arrests.
including for assaulting law enforcement.
I want more arrests.
In a statement in part, the Department of Homeland Security says today DHS is extending fencing surrounding U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Broadview Processing Center after rioters and sanctuary politicians obstructed law enforcement through tear gas cans, rocks, bottles, and fireworks.
Politicians were involved in this.
Slashed tires of cars
Disgusting.
and blocked the entrance of the building and trespassed on private property. Demonstrators have expressed concern over Operation Midway Blitz and have called on ICE to stay out of their communities. The Trump administration says it's targeting undocumented immigrants with criminal offenses. Due to the fencing, federal agents are just using one side of the street to enter and exit the facility.
The fence totally destroyed all of the rioting at this facility. And you know what that's meant? That's meant these rioters, they've had to go find a new playground, unfortunately.
Believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. I believe that we
They believe they're going to win as a Dodge Durango slowly drives through them. I disagree. I think the Dodge Durango owns the streets, if this is a Durango. So apparently this is happening at the same facility, just another area of it. They've found another way to assault the facility.
This is Monica Eng with Axios Chicago reporting from the ICE facility in Broadview, where people have just been pepper sprayed another time. The ICE officers have refused to take down an illegal fence that the Broadview officials asked them to take down.
Ah, the fence. They don't like the fence.
Pepper spray is coming out for the second time.
That's the
this
problem.
morning on Friday. I got it.
They should put a fence around the back of the building too, because look at these lunatics. Look at them. They just won't stop. This is so crazy. Why are these people not in jail? I don't understand that. They just keep assaulting federal agents over and over again. This is just so wrong. Nothing about this is good.
The department is demanding federal authorities remove a fence
the city
set
doesn't
up at
like
the
the
immigration
fence.
processing facility in Broadview. The acting fire chief says ICE illegally built the fence
It's an illegal
on a village
fence.
road and that it could block firefighters' access during
Never mind
an
the
emergency.
fence
The new
is there
fencing
to
went up
stop
overnight
illegal activity.
following weeks of protests at the facility, which have sometimes included clashes with federal agents. We have reached out to ICE for comment on the fire department's demands, but have not heard back.
And I wonder if this fire department's been pressured at all by local officials to tell ICE to get rid of the fence.
According to you, within the last hour, we saw 2 protesters who were detained. Those protesters were part of that 25th Avenue protest that's taking place, trying to block vehicles. They were then brought here to the ICE processing facility, and we saw them being taken through the gates. At the exact same time, there is a lot of tear gas, CS gas, and rubber bullets that are being deployed.
But that's the fault of these Antifa rioters.
To impact your breathing and a lot of other things, making it hard for protesters to continue.
They shouldn't continue. What they're doing is wrong.
Fencing is up. Whenever protesters touch the fence, that's when they are being hit with those chemical agents.
Why are they touching the fence? Why are they getting so close to the facility that they have to touch the fence? Don't touch the fence. You can protest without touching the fence.
At that point, take a look at this video that we've gathered from the ground here.
They don't have to touch the fence.
Outside the ICE processing facility here on Beach Street, and since Tuesday, ICE agents installed this fencing, which Broadview officials have been calling for it to come down. That new fencing
they don't like the fence.
Any protesters from blocking any vehicles to get
because it's working. That's why they don't like it.
What has caused many of those tensions, those heated moments, the escalation.
Look at them, they're so depressed and defeated.
For the past couple of weeks.
These people are
gross,
leads
to those chemical agents being deployed. Now, we just learned from DHS since September 19th that a total of 17 people have been...
Look at this sign right here. This is the whole problem. It says, stop deportations, defend immigrants. They're conflating illegal immigrants with legal immigrants who came into this country and did things the right way. And you know, that's probably the worst part about all of this, is you've got this sanctuary city that's harboring federal fugitives, and it's doing it while acting like those fugitives have some eternal right to stay in our country just because they happen to find themselves here. They don't want to see anybody get deported because they think that the people breaking America's laws have done the right thing. And when you have a city that protects the lawless, it can only happen at the expense of the law-abiding. And that's what we're seeing with these businesses closing. Businesses getting looted in one location, moving across town, and then the criminals follow them there and loot it again, and they just have to close down permanently and shut down. It's awful. But what do you think? Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.
For watching this, but I think this is a point of discussion. We can have a discussion in the comment section, because I really don't understand what's going on. This is a good city, a very big city in one of the most biggest country we have in the world. But the kind of insecurities and crimes that I'm witnessing here, it's doesn't make sense. You have police officers, you have good security system. Why do you play around with these insecurities and these crimes? I think, guys, let me hear your views in the comment section. See you in the next video.